it is our turn to have our chance to find out and to discover our timeless, eternal, if you like, nature, and to be freed from the psychological hypnosis that keeps us in this very limited world of personhood, and to again recover the recognition of our eternal nature, our unity, our harmony, our oneness with the Supreme Being, the Self of this universe, and be free and happy. But innumerable obstacles appear within the play, within what I call the theater of consciousness. And this theater is the functioning of perception through the senses, through the mind, with the faculty of memory, of the ability to project and to imagine, and the powers of discernment that helps us to distinguish between actualities, projections, fantasy, and truth. And by these powers of discernment, come to the clear recognition of our timeless nature. Don't feel, oh, I don't know if I can do all of these things. It's not a doing. Perhaps it's more an undoing. But even the undoing you are not doing. If you work with grace, because grace, without grace, all is doom. Grace is another name for truth. God is another name for the expression of God's grace or God's love. It's another name for what we truly are, actually. But I feel somehow in these satsangs, in spite of the things that have come to shake this tree, that you have and have not lost the power to recognize the simple pointing and to see that you are in the very heart of this pointing, that this pointing is pointing to you. And to be free of the attachments that give us the sense of being bound in time and being bound to bodies and being bound by action. Because I have not supported any idea that will entrap you in the limited state of egohood, but to be pointing continuously to your capacity to keep observing, and by observing come to recognize your true place as that witnessing consciousness. And that consciousness's work is not only about witnessing, it is simply being. That being is not a verb, it is not an action. That actually one comes to see that witnessing, witnessing itself is witnessable. That witnessing becomes not a chore, not a hardship, but recognized as an inherent function of the living beings. That we need not identify like I am a witnesser as though it is a job. It is merely an opportunity. It is looking in the mirror of God. That those of you who have come and spent time taken, I know some people have had to make sacrifices. Some people have families and jobs that they had to somehow ask someone, they look after my child for a while or something in order for me to come here and give this gift to myself, to spend a little time to research your own self. And grace has offered a place for this. Where there is any genuine urge to find the truth, you are supported, you are wind assisted, because that is the highest choice you have made of what is possible within the human expression of consciousness. And you are here. And although forces have come to test you, to maybe divert the attention, we have incorporated them and to use them to strengthen your satsang. And more forces will come from every walk of life to test you, because we have to be tested, not that you should fail, but that you should taste transcending. And we must transcend. We must rise above the clouds of egohood. To stand in the glory and the light of truth. Some people have said, please, Guruji, I can't do it by myself. Do it for me. I said, no, I'll do it with you, but not for you. Because it's not enough to be just lazy and think, I can't. This is not the way. Yes, you may feel weak. You may feel, I need help. Help is here. But don't give up and just think, let someone, you give you a banana, could you peel it for me? Okay. Yes, could you chew it for me? Could I swallow it for you? Must I benefit from it for you? So something, I said one time, God gives you bread. Don't ask for toast. Make toast. Yesterday we had a song that life is a kirtan, meaning that call and response. Something is offered. You must develop the sensitivity first to be attracted to the true thing and to respond to it. And with this waltz, this tango, we grow, we evolve to the place where our minds become pure enough to assimilate directly, you see? These satsangs have been very direct at pointing each time. So when something in us is constantly drifting back to the old regime of personal identity, but then I said, but come on, stay in the place of the weakness, no? It's not so difficult. And then the mind responds, okay, I will try. I said, no, you're not the mind who tries. You're already here. Pay attention, you're already here. Did you have to travel from the place of personal identity to the witnessing place? Did you travel here? No, you simply saw, but this is here also. This capacity is here also. You see? And when you begin to claim and verify your true place as the witness to all that appears through the senses and the mind and through time and through memory, when you could and will and choose to look and to discover that there's a space in you whereby you can look without being so energetically involved or identified with the things that you see, you are discovering a great field, an expansion in consciousness, a great sense of peace and the joy. And upon recognizing this, something finally begin to say thank you, because you saved me from the claustrophobia of personhood. You begin to find the space. Am I speaking something strange to you? No. And then you came to this wonderful place within you that you did not create. You did not create, you merely discover. And in discovering this, your life began to widen and beautify and simplify, became more intuitive, more spontaneous, more happy, more light, more giving, more compassionate, less fearful, and you're happy. But something say, beautiful as it is, as the weakness, well done, you have crossed over, in a sense, from darkness into light. But don't go to sleep here, even. That even this beautiful state of presence, that itself, when you ask, is this also perceivable or not? And say, don't hurry. This question, not everybody will be ready. Some will feel, no, I have just arrived into presence, leave me alone a little bit, let me enjoy, like this, no? So I am not, pulling anyone. But for those in whose heart these words and these guidance and pointers resonate, and you can relate to it and feel, yes, even this is seen, and you are asked, if that beautiful state, this nectar of life, is itself perceived, who are you, what are you, and where are you? And don't use your mind. Sober seeing, not fleshly seeing. A seeing of the deepest intuition reveals what? That in the final seeing, in the final analysis, in the final looking, what is found? An object? Even a subject? No. That which is found and that which finds are one. And yet, by the momentum, because of the momentum of habit and conditioning, there will be some oscillation, it seems, between coming back into the mind energy and swinging back to the witnessing energy. Yet there is this which is unchanging, which never gets more or less. It simply is. And if it feels, I come to this place but I can't stay here, then stay only in the witness for now. That is already super great. Because from the place where you can observe the world without becoming attached to it, becoming less attached to it, and gradually, the stickiness of concepts and ideas begins to loosen, and one finds that there's like a pure witnessing, and the joy is not about the joy I find in this thing and that thing. The joy is emanating out of the very source itself. The peace is arising. It's your own perfume. And you stop, in a way, being a pursuer of joy. It is here really that the term to enjoy yourself. But it is not an addiction. It is the joy of the self. So I feel that if this only is grasped, if this alone is what you've grasped, it's superb. Yes. Continue staying and confirming, because the recognition of the witnessing presence, it's not a place with a location. That place of the witnessing presence will find that still there's susceptibility to keep swinging back into identity, but the witness has the power to keep recognizing that and exposing that is only a sensation and not a truth. Identity will arise personally, but the witness is able to confirm that is not a fact, that is the fiction of me and not the fact of what I am. And like this, by exercising your power, you exorcise the unreal. Can we hear this? Is it something only to be believed and imagined? No, you see. If this much has become more deeply secure in your understanding, not created, but discovered, then beautiful will be your life. But don't make the mistake, okay, I've done it now, thank you very much, I'm on top of the world. Don't make any assessments like that. And don't speak too much about it. Better not speak at all even. Let your world be, your attention get internalized. Of course, whatever activities you have to do in the world, so to speak, it will become increasingly purified, less sticky, because there's no need to be personally identified for something to flow beautifully. In fact, the less identified you are with it personally, the more purified and beautiful it is. You will find out. I'm sure some of you already have found out. The less personal the life is approached, the more beautiful, harmonious even, then we don't feel we need to push it away because you're at one with it. And at the same time, because of the deeper discovery, you find that somehow you are not conquered by any movement. So again, this is thing I'm going to make just this one little bit to firm up your understanding. That even though there may be, you may feel I am also in the life, but not as ego. The weakness also is grace takes care of the life. It will feel life is taking care of life, not the person. Lose the person, transcend the person, and everything becomes a harmony. Yes? But the deeper discovery of the unchanging self, that will never move. Everything else may move, even in the place of the weakness, that may be movement. But all that is watched from the unmoving, the complete, the ever perfect. Don't think that this is a personal discovery and a personal triumph. It is not. It is triumph over the person. There is no freedom for the person of such. There's freedom from the person. If you have strong identity in personhood, there is also another way. The great river, the river of evolution, where we do our best, we learn to treat, we follow the scriptures, you treat others with respect, you respect your family, you grow, your parents, you people, you are grateful in life. This, then one purifies the ego, so to speak, and become more receptive to assimilate truth more directly. But in the purest of the pure, the ego cannot dwell there. We take ego to be a big thing. It is a big thing if you believe in it, and if you're addicted or attached to ego. But when you realize your true self, ego is nothing at all. In fact, it doesn't exist even. Now it may seem to be a very strong statement to say it doesn't exist, when sometimes it feels it alone exists. But from the perspective of the deeper seeing, where it cannot live in the deeper seeing, at the place of the weakness, it can still be in a very subtle disguise. But in pure awareness, it does not exist. It does not exist. It would be like a fish living in the sky. He cannot exist. Not even a flying fish can live there. So in the deepest place, and not a depth of measurement, but a depth of subtlety, the pure, the essence, which you will continue by witnessing and confirming that the weakness has no content. The weakness does not need a history. It does not even need aspiration. It is dwelling inside its own joy, inside its own splendor. Deeper than the weakness is the absolute awareness. I cannot give you measurements like the ego is here and then the thing is here and this is here. Sometimes I've made illustrations about it, like the first bird and second bird. It is helpful for a while to keep locating where your eye is functioning from. And to that extent it is useful. But there will come a time when you will not need even this metaphor, these illustrations.